All right. Welcome to the Labyrinth. I am your host, Pratham Padhav. That's who I am. And in this episode, I want to talk about Australia. For those of you who don't know, there's this gigantic island to the southeast of Asia, and they call this island Australia. And the people living on that island, they call themselves Australians. And there are a lot of weird things on that island, like coral reefs. That's off the island. On the island, there are kangaroos, these weird animals that jump on 2 feet and stuff their offsprings in their stomach pouch. And there are koala bears, which look nothing like bears. They're not like black bears, brown bears, or polar bears. They can't rip your face off. They're just tiny and cute. I don't know why they even call them bears. And of course, it's the home of Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, and Kylie Minogue, and the Hemsworth brothers. So that's Australia. The reason why I'm talking about Australia in this episode is because for some reason, my podcast, I believe, is doing quite well in Australia, especially in Apple Podcasts. So I upload the videos of my podcast on YouTube, and I upload the audio of my podcast on Anchor FM, and Anchor FM then uploads my podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podcasts, Podcast Addict, and many other podcast apps. And I didn't care much about Apple Podcasts because Apple Podcasts is not a big deal here in India. In India, it's Spotify. Spotify, I believe, is number one in India. But Apple Podcasts is a big deal abroad in countries like Australia, US, Canada, UK, etc. So, in the past 1 month, my podcast listeners skyrocketed. By skyrocketed, I don't mean thousands of people are listening to me, but uh, the graph, it looks, upwards. A lot of people started listening to my podcast compared to the podcast listeners 2 months ago. And a lot of these were not Indians; they were Americans, Canadians, and Australians, and people from UK. So that I thought was funny because I didn't know that people outside even listen to my podcast at this volume. And I even made it to the Apple Podcasts top 10 section in two categories, in education and self improvement. Today is 22nd September, and last week in Apple Podcasts Australia, in self improvement, I was number 10. And in the education category, I was number 15 out of the hundreds of podcasts in Australia. I don't know what it is about my podcast that Australians thought was educational or self improving. But thank you, Australians. I really appreciate that. In fact, in Apple Podcasts Australia, in the self improvement section, a few days ago, I peaked at, hold on, in the self improvement section, I peaked at number 6. And in the education section of Apple Podcasts Australia, I peaked at number 8. Whoa. And wow, that's really good because there are, in the education section, the top podcast in Apple Podcasts Australia is the Jordan B. Peterson podcast, and that's a highly respected podcast. And I read 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson in 2018, and it had a positive impact on my life. So to be in the same chart or the same top 10 or top 15 list as Jordan Peterson or Ryan Holiday also has a podcast called The Daily Stoic. It's an honor. But you know what, I want the number one position. I don't know what it is that Australians like about my podcast. I don't even know if this data is reliable, to be honest. Maybe this is just me daydreaming. This data is from chartable.com. I don't know how reliable this data is. I hope it's true. If it's not, then it's just me flexing about things that are not even real. So if it is true, thank you, Australians. And I think I should continue talking about Australia now because Australians listen to my podcast. So I know that there are weird lockdowns happening in Australia right now because there was one case they locked down an entire state. I don't know which state it is, but they apparently have the strictest lockdowns in Australia, and the mainstream media, the I think the biggest news network in Australia is ABC, Australian Broadcasting Corporation, and they're not even reporting this. And most of this is being reported by Rebel News, and the main reporter at Rebel News, I believe his name is Avi Yemeni, and he's doing most of this reporting. And just in the past few days, uh, there are riots in the streets of Melbourne, and construction workers have gone on strike over the vaccine mandates. And yeah, like there was also an earthquake, I think, just yesterday, a 6.4 magnitude earthquake. Maybe I'm not accurate with the magnitude, but there was an earthquake just yesterday in Melbourne. Now I just wonder, with the construction workers going on strike, who's going to fix the broken glasses or the broken buildings in Melbourne? So that's what's happening in Australia right now with the vaccine mandates and lockdowns. Now, speaking of lockdowns and vaccine mandates, one of the Australian government official repeatedly used the word New World Order. That's funny because that would mean that conspiracy theorists will have a field day using the footage of that politician using New World Order, not just in Australia, but here, even here in India. During the Independence Day on August 15th, our Prime Minister Modi repeatedly used the word New World Order, and in his other parliamentary speeches as well. I don't know what exactly these politicians mean when they say COVID is going to create a new world order, but I think they should be more careful with their words, especially because conspiracy theorists have increasing credibility nowadays. Last year, conspiracy theorists had said that the lab leak hypothesis is very likely, and no one believed them. But this year, almost every person who I know believes that COVID is most likely come out of a lab, precisely the Wuhan Institute of Virology lab. So since governments and institutions around the world are losing credibility, now might not be the best time for a government official to use words like New World Order, especially if they don't want to sound spooky. Yeah, so this pandemic is very weird, man. Like it's a disease that has 99.5% survival rate, and this is not even something that I'm making up. It's objectively true, even as per medical journals like Lancet and medbricks.org. And most of us who don't even need any medical intervention to recover from this disease. And Joe Rogan, the number one podcaster, he recently got COVID, and he said that he started taking medicines from his kitchen sink. He took the kitchen sink treatment, apparently. So he started taking tablets, multivitamins, and he got a lot of shit for saying that he took ivermectin. And ivermectin is this drug which has been in use since 1975, and it got the Nobel Prize for curing or for helping people with multiple diseases, including Nile fever and dengue. And it has very strong antibacterial and antiviral properties, and almost no human being experience side effects while taking ivermectin, especially in the prescribed dose. So I don't know why CNN is all of a sudden giving him a lot of pain. There being an absolute pain in the backside for Joe Rogan because he said that he has taken ivermectin. What's even intriguing is that Joe Rogan recovered from COVID in just 4 days, and on the fifth day he was back in the gym. So doesn't that mean that ivermectin works? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Okay, and even if ivermectin works, I won't be able to say that out loud because YouTube community guidelines. And so yeah, I don't know if ivermectin works or not, but a lot of countries around the world, like Japan or even some state governments in India, have approved ivermectin. But in the United States, the mainstream media like CNN keeps repeating a lie. It's basically misinformation saying that ivermectin is only a horse dewormer. It's scientifically untrue because human beings have been taking ivermectin for decades now, and it's been very useful for them. But I can't speak about ivermectin and COVID and the relation between the two. But what I do know is that ivermectin is not just a horse dewormer. So calling it a horse dewormer is untrue. It's misinformation. So CNN should be called out for that. And let's say CNN is right. Let's say that ivermectin is only a horse dewormer. If that is true, then I think they have to give ivermectin to all of the CNN anchors because lately they've been producing a lot of horse shit. And this kind of mainstream propaganda of promoting lockdowns and promoting the vaccines and shunning of the unvaccinated is not just happening on CNN, but it's also happening through late night talk show hosts like Jimmy Kimmel, for example, who said that the unvaccinated should not be given ICU beds and they should just be allowed to die on the street, even though the unvaccinated person might be paying taxes or he might be paying insurance, but that is irrelevant because he's not vaccinated. He shouldn't be allowed inside a hospital, according to Jimmy Kimmel. Sheesh. I mean, and Jimmy Kimmel further went to ask this question, like, why aren't Americans getting vaccinated? I don't know, man, because I think Americans are not getting the vaccine. I think 30% of Americans are choosing not to get vaccinated with the COVID vaccine. And their skepticism is coming from a place of understanding data because every month the efficacy of Pfizer vaccine is going down and down and down and down. And it's happening every month. Sort of like Jimmy Kimmel's TV ratings. It's going down and down every month. There's nothing you can do about it. So the skepticism of unvaccinated, I think, is justified. And anyways, back to Australia. This episode is about Australia because apparently my podcast is doing quite well in Australia. So Australians, there's a lockdown happening. There is riots in the street. I hope that's not COVID. Even if it is, it doesn't matter. And there are riots happening in the streets of Melbourne in Australia, Melbourne and Sydney in Australia, and I think a civil war is inevitable in countries like Canada, Australia, and USA right now because the left has gone far too much to the left and the governments are turning tyrannical. Yeah, I think there's probably going to be a collapse. Everything is being inflated now. Personal liberties and human rights have become a joke. So I think at this moment it is safe to say that a civil war is inevitable or a global collapse. So, to my Australian listeners, I want to say thank you for listening to this podcast, and stay strong. I don't know what's going to happen in the coming days. Grow your own vegetables, load your guns, invest in gold, silver, and cryptocurrencies. Phew, I don't know what else to say. And I hope you all survive the civil war, the upcoming or the ongoing civil war, so that you can continue listening to my podcast. Thank you, and have a great day. Oh, and before I end this podcast, if you like this podcast, of course, I have to say this because it's a formal way to end this podcast. And I also need to say this because I need subscribers and followers at this time. If you're watching this podcast on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you're listening to this podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you're listening to on, click the follow button and share it with all of your friends. Yeah. Thank you. Cheers, Traya.